Hey smokers, Draga1 here, and today we have a very difficult to explain video. So basically, a little while ago, in the 10-year YouTube video that I made, celebrating 10 years on YouTube, I said I was going to start uploading Ian's Computer Show. And on Ian's Computer Show, it was the computer adventures that I was having, much like these, almost 10 years ago. However, I ran into a problem. The first two episodes of the show were already edited and all done, so it was fine. However, the rest of the episodes of the show never even got edited. I only have raw footage from this camera. And it just so happens to be that the movie files that I have access to, that I imported, are all in Apple's DV format. Now, DV isn't actually an Apple format, but the codec, when it was imported with iMovie, sort of gave it the coding of QuickTime, and when I try to actually import it into Movie Studio Platinum, which is the software I use for editing, it doesn't work. It doesn't recognize the codec. The only way I can get it to recognize it is to install QuickTime. And I think everybody told us, including the Department of Homeland Security, that we should uninstall QuickTime due to its serious security holes. So I suppose I could install QuickTime while I'm editing and uninstall it, and then everything would be fine. Or we can do things the hard way, with all of this crap. So basically, this stuff right here is what we're going to use to attempt to get the DV footage off of the old DV tapes onto a Windows machine in a Windows format. And there's a couple ways to go about this. One of which is to use USB and use the drivers from Sony's website to connect this via USB and then import it using some software. I don't know what it would have to be, but it would have to be on Windows XP because the software won't run on anything else. The alternative is to see if we can get a FireWire card installed, or IEEE 1394 card installed, and then attempt to use some software specifically used for importing DV footage from FireWire. And of course, we're going to all set it up with a $20 SSD, and this will be our target video volume if it turns out that we are going to dump gigantic video files. So again, yes, it's a very hard to explain situation, but really all we're trying to do is import from this camera on a PC and make it not suck. Now, I've actually done a lot of importing from this camera onto PCs in the past, but it was with Windows Movie Maker, and it only had the capacity to import in crappy-ass quality. So let's go ahead and get started, because right now I don't even have Windows XP installed. So this is our King Diane SSD. It's really cheapo SSD, but it might just work. It's works with Windows Vista, so that's good. Now, but this is also the first SSD that I've ever seen come with screws. That's rare. And of course, this is only a 60 gig one, keeping it simple. Ooh. Fast hands, fast hands, fast hands, people, fast hands. Let's get the booty. Now, I've installed Windows XP before, so I'll only be going over the highlights. Most notably, getting the new SSD we got formatted. Say what? There's no disk in the drive? Oh, let me guess. I probably plugged the SSD into a SATA cable that wasn't plugged into the motherboard. No, that is false. It is plugged in to the motherboard. So let's create a partition then. Delete a partition. I wish I was joking. I wish I like photoshopped this on just to make a joke. It's real. What the fuck? I never had the setup crash like that so early. I didn't even get a chance to start installing Windows. And I already got a blue screen. How the fuck am I gonna be able to do this? So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to use... Can you guess what I'm gonna have to use? Hiren's boot CD to go in, or use gparted or whatever to go in, format the SSD, then we can happily install our Windows XP. Another 20-minute detour to wait for it to boot up, but okay, F11 is the boot menu. I'm actually gonna go to this because it's a random flash drive I saw lying around, and what do you know, it has Ubuntu on it, which means it has a copy of gparted already. I don't have to find the Hiren's boot CD, and it'll boot up faster. So just what we need, right? Why isn't it doing anything? Did I lock it up already? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding. Oh, don't worry, I got Hiren's right here. Part of magic. Go. Well, that was the fastest boot of that I've ever seen. Who cares? Let's go to the partition editor and it'll pull the disk drive back in. You know you have a problem if gparted can't see the SSD. Let's plug it into a different SATA port. Okay, so here's what I didn't even care to look at. This entry didn't appear before. That's right, because I didn't plug the SATA power in far enough. Yeah, so let's just boot up Windows XP now, because holy crap. Alright, now going back to where we were before, this is what we should have seen previously. We have a 60 gig partition here, and I think all we need to do is just press enter, and we'll do the quick format, because I don't want to wait. We'll let it install, and then we'll have Windows XP, and a... What the fuck? What? Windows could not start because of computer disk hardware configuration problem? Could not read from the selected boot disk. Now I gotta do it again? Boot from the CD. Okay, we're back again. And look, we have a partition 1, and it is NTFS. Let's install here. There. Nothing can go wrong. Yeah. Whoa, what the hell is this? Last I looked over, I was still at the blue installing screen. That'll teach me to, like, get up and do something else while I'm waiting for it. What happened? Well, I sort of know what's happening right now. It's doing the decompressing this because it's not a... It's a packaged up all the updates version of Windows XP. I go over this in the making the SSD Windows XP machine. If you want to see this installation, go look at that video. Alright, let's try this again. What the fuck? Why does this stuff keep happening? Come on, come on. Hey, it worked. Hey, why is it classic theme? Who cares? We're here! Alright, so now that we're in Windows XP, you can see that of course we have a lot of stuff that's not installed, which includes the audio device. So, since we don't really want to mess with that, I already have the video driver on the flash drive, as well as some other pieces of software that we'll get jumping into right now. Let's skip to that. What the hell happened? I gotta say, this one caught me a little bit off guard. This is Puppy Linux. Apparently the flash drive I plugged into the computer that has the drivers and stuff on it also has a copy of Puppy Linux on it, and when it restarted the computer it booted. So yeah. Let's actually just really restart the computer this time. Oh my god! Okay, all done. Native resolution and everything. Even got some sound drivers installed. Oh shit. Well, let's not forget the core of our problem, which is, of course, importing DV footage. So these are some of the installers we will need. The most important ones are this one and this one. So this one is a third-party DV, actually FireWire capture for Windows XP for the camera. So that's going to be our sort of last resort right there, just because getting this FireWire card to work with Windows XP, how the fuck am I going to do that? I don't know, but let's try and just install the USB driver first. Yeah, it looks bad. Right here, you set it up, install, click next. And you restart the computer. And holy crap, does this restart fast. Oh, no, 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 no! God damn it! Look at how fast this is. And it's done. What the fuck? I gotta say, that's the fastest restart I've ever seen. Fuck off. Okay, so the video driver's ready to go and install. This is the new version of AMCAP, which I think it has a limit to how long you record before you actually hit some sort of limit and you can't record anymore. I need to find the old version of AMCAP that kind of looks more like this. There's actually a copy on the Windows 98 machine actually that might actually be able to help us. So I may need to look at the drivers on there to find out. K-Lite codec pack is going to be very... What the hell is this? Something else I need? Jesus Christ. Ooh, I can do NVIDIA CUDA because I have an GT420. Wait, no, no, no. AdAware? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, 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 no. Whoa, whoa. Hold on, hold on. Decline. There we go. Holy balls, that was close. Okay, so we got a bunch of bullshit installed. Alright, now we need to plug in the camera. And I'm out of USB ports. Like, I'm not kidding. Well, I know how to free up one. There. So the first method is to just plug this in via USB. And this is just a DV camera. For those of you who are curious what the camera is, it's a DCR-TRV19. This is the camera I used to shoot the Ultimate DOS machine and those old, or most of those old Ian's Computer Show videos. And it's probably a few other videos here and there on the channel from way back. But I switched over to the current one right now, the Sony. It's in the description. Camcorder. It's HD, and I've been using that since 2013 on the channel. Shit, there we go. So you put it on. Well, it doesn't really matter what you put it on, but you got to open this up. I'm actually looking through the viewfinder to a viewfinder. Okay, so you go here, and you go to menu, and then you go to something in here, USB stream. This is not necessary for the DV connection, the FireWire connection. You turn this on, and then it's in. Then I can go ahead and plug this into that. We'll see some of this. And it wants to install new hardware. Automatically let it install. Yes, this is the cable from the camera. And it's done. So now that it's done, we should be able to just go right here. Go into AMCAP. Oh, it's an AMCAP setup. Okay. Install AMCAP. Run AMCAP, and there it is. So, luckily for us, it just started immediately working. You can even see the computer fan running there. You can maximize this. You have sort of a live feed here. This is working a lot better than it was on my virtual machine. Holy balls. Oh, and it just stopped. That was it. That's all we get. So yeah. See, as you can see, it says AMCAP demo version, which leaves much to be desired. I don't know what happened. Oh, it's updating only every couple frames. Alright. Oh, now it's working. Or not. It might work. I don't know. So, in order to capture, we need to make sure it doesn't actually do that. So, there's a lot of confusing ass menus in here. You can change the renderer, the capture format. This is particularly important. Now, for a DV camera, it does record at 640 by 480, or is it 720 by 480? I don't know. I think it's just 640 by 480 frame rate, compression, all that. Trying to record and capture at 640 by 480 probably puts a strain on the system. It seems okay. So again, why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this because we want to have a way to record that's not in Apple's QuickTime format, and I can just send it, preferably in a raw, uncompressed format, to Movie Studio Platinum, so that we can then compress it down to YouTube without having to start with compressed visuals. If you want to take a look at this, you may be observing some nastiness here. Some confirmed nasties here. You don't want any of this. Now, this comes at a price, both disk storage, disk space wise, and processor. So in this, I think we have like a Celeron, Intel Celeron. I don't know how well that's going to handle it. Right now, it seems like it's pretty stable. If I do too much movement with it, I think it'll just lock up. But thus far, it hasn't happened. Ooh. Oh yeah, the camera should shut itself off. So here's the problem. Let's try and capture. I don't actually have a way to capture audio at the moment. Actually, I do. We can go to capture C Media Audio Device because that is what the audio is coming from. I will have to manually run some cables just so you can sort of see what I'm going through here. I need to connect this, which is everything, video and audio, an AV connection here, mini AV, to that. But not a problem because I happen to have this, so I can plug this directly into that, and this, so I can plug this directly into that, so we can record both video and audio from the camcorder. Yeah. I'll take that as working. Working a lot. Damn it. Okay, so I muted it. There we go. So now we'll be able to record. Right now we're just going to see if we can record longer than a couple minutes. Capture. Start recording. We're going to save it onto the desktop because I don't know where else to put it. Okay, so now we're recording. Performance-wise, it seems to be holding up. I don't know if we have any dropped frames. It looks like we have some dropped frames. I'm not sure. We're sort of taking a look at different stuff in the case here. Quality-wise, it doesn't look that bad. Looks okay. I'm getting a little bit of lag here and there. Oh. I may have bumped the switch. The sample start time is after the sample end time. Maybe I bumped the switch, I don't know. Let's try it again. Start recording. Quit putting it in my videos. Record. Okay, the quality is actually pretty bad. Well, this thing has a 3-year warranty? Bitchin'. That's that. Oh, right. Because the camera shut itself off. Now, this normally would not happen if you had a tape in and you were playing back a tape. Then it would just survive. Let's wait for it to come back up here. Alright, let's try and record yet again. The desktop. Alright. So this may involve, if this software works well enough and it doesn't keep shutting off on me, then we may actually consider buying AMCAP or just using the old version. but the old version may not be as capable of recording with better codecs and such, and it may just not even work very well on Windows XP. I'm just going to let it sit here and record until it tells me to stop, I guess. I'm going to manipulate the menus on the camera so it doesn't go to sleep. Remix! This is shit I have to deal with, like, every single time I do a video. Ooh! See that green grass? Green. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened, but things got darker. Oh yeah, this camera is having some problems. This actually noted that everything got darker a couple of years ago when I started using the camera. This actually is a known problem. I went back and looked at some old footage of me like fucking around with my high school friends, and yeah, that it went green for some reason, and I don't know why. But we're still recording. We're currently at 3 minutes, and it hasn't told me to stop yet, so I'm gonna think that that's a good thing. Yeah, focus shift, pretty cool, huh? Not really, but it's green. Everything's green. Now, I think this is just the light sensor is bad, or something. Oh crap, it shut itself off again while I was interacting with the interface. I didn't get to 5 minutes yet. I don't know if 5 minutes is the cutoff. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to pop in one of my old DV tapes, let it just capture from that, and then just hope that it'll sit there and play back just fine. Crap. Okay. Where are all my DV tapes? Well, before we do that, let's just take a look at the resulting file in question. Looks like it's right here. It's 7 gigabytes in size. We recorded for less than 5 minutes and it's 7 gigabytes. That's almost 8 for 5 minutes. So if I have 15 minutes, 8 times 3 is 24. And that's 24 gigs for 15 minutes. What if it's a half hour? It's more gigs. Let's try and play it back and see if we can actually hear anything here. I don't know if it has any sound. I'd love to know if it was outputting something. Oh, I hear static, but look, it is muted on... Oh, the video doesn't actually have an audio stream. So that's great. So actual playback of it looks okay. If I adjust the codec a little bit, it might actually be able to maybe even shrink the size, increase the quality. I'm just praying that the demo version isn't a big limitation. So let's go to About AMCAP. Does it say anything? Demo and full versions of the application are basically the same, provided version numbers match. The demo version allows you to test every feature of AMCAP for free as long as you want, but there are only 2 limitations are application stops video preview and recording after 15 minutes of use. Now AMCAP is $30, and I could just buy it and we could use USB streaming to get the job done. But we haven't exhausted all of our options for capturing video yet. In fact, we still have one more, and that is FireWire. Now, again, if you were to do this on a Mac, even a Mac with macOS 9 is able to capture video from this camera relatively easily. Doing this on a PC is what the real challenge is. So I guess that's what we're trying to do. So let's try to see if we can find some drivers for this, and hopefully we don't run into any ice cream ads in the process. Step 1 of figuring out what your hardware is you look very carefully at the board itself. Pinnacle Systems. That's not really helpful. Pinnacle Systems, that's a little bit helpful. Booster 2B. Now I think I've actually confirmed that this works on Linux, but I don't think it works on Windows very well. This could be floppy disk power that it needs? No idea. As far as I know, this should just work. It's just a FireWire card. What else we got here? Can I get a model number? I guess it's Booster 2B. Oh, there it is. Booster 2B10 or 1.0. It's an interesting name for a FireWire card. Now, I just looked at a random form after Googling the name of the card, and apparently you don't need any drivers, even on Windows XP. It'll just work. So let's just install the card and get rolling here. So let's turn this off. Alright, that's where it needs to go right there. We gotta pop this in right there. Oh god, this GT420 is really in the way. I spilled my drink. Alright, I guess it's in. And then we snap this closed. And it sort of seals it in place there. Alright, very good. While we still have this under the knife, I have a 120 gig drive here. Go ahead and plug this in. Hook it up. And what I'm going to use it for is our video destination. If we're using gargantuan amounts of gigs for footage that we may be able to compress later, we're going to need some place to put it. And something tells me it's not all going to fit on that SSD. No, sir. Alright, that's plugged in. Something else clever we can do, there is a FireWire header on the board, on the actual PCI card itself. We can plug in our FireWire cable right there, and I don't even have to plug it into the back of the computer. I can just plug it right in right there, and that should work. And then, instead of having USB plugged in, we can have FireWire plugged in right there, and we don't even need this, because it'll actually capture audio. Assuming it works. Hard to start it moving on its own. Like, yeah, I saw it move. I'm serious. Okay, maybe it was just because I didn't have enough slack there. Okay, drive me crazy. Man, that drive is loud. I think this is the drive that I tried to install Linux on. Mandrake Linux, and it didn't work. And I think that's why it partitioned it in kind of a weird way. I don't know if you can see. But there's a bunch of partitions, and there's like extended partitions and stuff on this drive. I thought it was blank, but apparently it has some weird stuff going on. I'm just going to nuke all this. Yeah, delete that, delete that, delete that. This is safe, right? There we go. New partition. Let's give it the drive letter Z, because I've never given it volume drive letter Z before. There we go. Now I got a place to put the parameters incorrect. What the fuck? Doesn't like Z? Oh, because it's in the middle of formatting it, and I closed it out while it was formatting. Cancel format? Hey! Give me a little sound too, how cute. Okay, now there's nothing on there. Alright, perfect. Alright, close this out. So apparently, it didn't say anything about our new hardware getting installed, so let's... Well, the only other device is an audio device, so I'm assuming that it got installed correctly. Okay. So now we're going to use another app. It's called WinDV, and it uses our FireWire, capturing from DV device, video source, Microsoft DV camera, and VCR. So that's not, nothing's coming up because it's not on, I guess. Recording to DV device is another features of DV configuration. Recording to file name formatting. I don't even know if the actual device in the computer works at this point. This would work pretty well as a, I don't know, early 2000s Mac versus PC ad, where, look how hard it is, on a Windows machine to get video working. Well, we already have video working, and we could have even been editing by now in Windows Movie Maker, but we haven't been because we're trying to get the highest quality video possible within a reasonable number of gigs. WinDV does not appear to be working. I don't really know how to get it working. This actually isn't, this software isn't being developed anymore. Yeah. Is it because I don't have it in VCR mode? I don't have a tape in there. Could that be it? Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe I need to, like, restart the computer? I don't even know how I would install it. So why isn't it working? Well, I didn't install any drivers for the FireWire card. It just didn't complain when I plugged it in. We take another look at this, and we read carefully something I don't normally do. We have computer, disk drive, display adapter, CD-ROM, human interface devices, IDE, keyboards, mice, monitors, network adapters, other devices, ports, common LPT, processors, sound and video game controllers, storage devices, system devices, and universal serial bus controllers. Now what are we missing? The IEEE 1394 host bus controllers. So that means that it totally didn't recognize it, or the card just doesn't work at all. I don't think I've actually got this card to work once, so I don't know if that's just me, or I need to pull a FireWire card out of the PowerMac G4 and throw it in here and hope that it works. I think I may just do that, but that is a prerequisite for functionality. It just absolutely refused to detect the card in the first place. So at least we have some place to start with our troubleshooting. For those of you who are looking for a PowerMac G4 Adventures Part 5, well, now's your chance to get a little bit excited, although this doesn't really count. Let's take a look at what we got here. The FireWire card we want is here, but it also has USB built in. So it could be kind of weird getting the drivers for it. Hopefully it'll work. I'll take this out. We don't really need it. Don't really need that many USB ports. The other card is a FireWire 800 card. Again, I could put that in, but I have to get adapters. So we're not going to go down that road. So this tallest card here I'm going to take out. And pray that it's just regular PCI. Yep, it is. So what do we have here? Orange Link. These were one of the ones that were kind of Mac specific. Orange Link Plus. Orange Micro 2003. So let's try that instead. Look how clean and shiny this is. Damn. It's like it's brand new. Cool. Okay, but this means we have to pull out the last card. And it's always a pain in the ass. Keep having to pull this shit in and out. And then I didn't actually unplug the FireWire cable itself, so we gotta pull that out. So yeah, again, I don't think I ever got that working. Here's our new card. Interestingly, it was easier to get in there than the last one, except it won't fucking close because look at that. Oh, I stand corrected. Never mind, we're good. Okay, well, we detect new hardware. We are. That's a good sign. Hey, that's what we need right there. Oh, fuck off. This is looking good. This is always a very intense and yet satisfying moment when to. Oh my god! So let's take another look at this. IEEE 1394 host bus controllers. And there it is. So that's what it should have looked like before. Apparently Windows XP already has the drivers for all this shit. So now I'm going to plug it in the back. And it should detect it. And it did. Sony DV camcorder. Oh my lord, look at this.
So actually, I take everything back. Remember how it was like so hard to do video shit? Windows XP was already set up for this stuff just like Mac was back then. The only thing you needed was a proper FireWire card. And check this out. We can capture video. Now, because it already detects as a video device. So let's take a look at my computer. We can take a look at the Sony DV camcorder in Explorer. And assuming I actually had something to show for it. If it was something there. Let's try it again. Get something. It's not going to use it as a webcam. Oh well. But it's showing that it's a scanner and or a camera, so that's a good sign. Now we're not going to use AMCAP because we have WinDV now. And and there it is. Press capture for capturing. So I guess I can set the capture file here. I'm going to set the capture file on the external drive, or internal drive. Read, save, and capture. Now it says it's capturing with 0 frames dropped. However, I don't see anything up here. Will it only capture when there's a tape in there? I don't know. Well, we're doing better than we were before. Let's take a look at our resulting file. There's our weed right there, 68. Hey! It says it's capturing with 0 frames dropped. However, I don't see anything up here. Will it only capture when
Look how smooth that is!
I don't know.
It's beautiful!
FireWire DV capture's working! So it looks like we finally found our method of recording. Now, actually, in this case, I don't need a dedicated Windows XP machine. I can plug this directly into my main Windows 10 computer and import all the stuff I need there. The only caveat is I need to install this FireWire card in there. So since that's a lot of work and I don't actually want to tear my computer open like for a million times, and I think I already have all my PCI ports. Oh no, I don't. I think I have some open. I probably could put it in there if I wanted to, but let's just try and record a little bit of footage for a while and see how it does, and then we'll go from there. But holy crap, that is really smooth. And the advantage to Media Player Classic here is we can get some stats on the video we're actually recording. So this is actually is some interlaced video here. Yeah, look how smooth that is.
Capture when there's a...
So let's go ahead, go to Properties, go to Media Info, and this is where all the raw data is. So we got AVI, DVC Pro, file size duration, overall bitrate is right at 30 megabits per second video, which is actually higher than what I'm recording in right now on mine. DVC Pro, DVC Sony, constant bitrate 24. Actually, I am running at 24, so it's pretty much exactly the same. Width 720 by 480, what I thought before. Display aspect ratio 4:3. This mouse sucks. Frame rate is 29.97. NTSC. Everything else is pretty just standard for this device. So pretty much excellent performance across the board right there for a pretty much perfect DV recording. So we just need to make sure that this clip can actually be properly imported into my main software on the computer. Let's record something a little bit more meaningful though. Open WinDV again. I don't know why it doesn't give you like a video preview. Let's put it on this again. I don't think the data was even that big to begin with. So let's go ahead and we can configure it a little bit. It doesn't give us type 1 AVI and type 2 AVI, video and audio. Numbering digits, don't know. Max AVI size in frames. So capture file is going into Blaze It. Let's go ahead and capture. No video device found because it turned off. Okay. See how well it reacquires it. This pops back up every time I do it. And now it detects it pretty much instantaneously. And let's start capture. So let's do something with this, I guess. You can sort of closest thing to besides this behind the scenes Draga 1 you're gonna get.
Hey smokers, Raga1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the JBL speaker. Now this is a very useful speaker. You can plug in it has an auxiliary port in the back here. So you can just plug in whatever you want. Right now I'm using it with my Windows XP machine to play back some stuff. I don't know why it's still set to PC speaker for the test, but just trust me, it does work. I've used this in several videos just because I needed a speaker. If you want a speaker, it's there. And if you have a 30-pin iPod or whatever you may have, you plug it in there and it just works. It is a speaker I've been using for years. It's awesome. And today we're going to be doing a video about it. And now that video is over because it's a speaker. What else do you want me to do? Oh, the buttons on the front are not actually buttons. They're touch sort of capacitive, I think. And if you hold your finger on it for too long, it will make the volume go up really, really high, really, really fast, and it will probably make you shit yourself because it'll get so loud so suddenly. And if you just sort of are like leaning on it or something and you go like that, it will just crank and max the volume just by holding down on it. So it's not that really good of a setup. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you later. And that created a 400 megabyte file. I think that's the sound of the hard disk dying. Let's start again. Hey smokers, Raga1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the JBL speaker. Now this is a very useful speaker. You can plug it has an auxiliary port in the back here. So you can I actually forgot that it has a 30-pin port in the back of it actually, which is kind of cool. So that it's still set to P. That works. So what we're going to do is copy that file over to this, and then put it on my main computer.
Let's use the send to button. Don't breathe this.
So I depending on how much footage I have to capture for my DV camcorder, I may just install the FireWire cord directly into my main PC. And I believe that Movie Studio Platinum may actually have a built-in app for capturing directly from a DV camcorder. And since I have Sony software, the Sony camera, it should go together like weed in a bong. Alright, so we're done. Now let's switch over to my main PC to see how it likes that format.
So this is the new project dialog in Movie Studio Platinum. We want to select DV because check out those numbers right there. That's the DV standard. Right there, so create a totally new project. So since I never outlined my original problem, here's what it is. This is a DV file from iMovie, and this is what iMovie captures from the DV camcorder over FireWire. Look what happens when I try to I can't even let go of the mouse, and it's already giving me an error. Sony QuickTime plugin was not able to initialize the QuickTime components on your system. It appears QuickTime for Windows is not properly installed. QuickTime files cannot be read or written without a full installation of QuickTime version 7.1.6 or greater components, including the authoring components. So even if I did have QuickTime installed, I don't think I've had a very good track record with actually that format in general. It's kind of been unpredictable, laggy, slow. I don't know if that's accurate, but it would be nice to not have to have that installed, QuickTime installed, because, you know, it has some massive security holes. So now let's take the file we captured on Windows XP and plug it right in. Here's the BlazeIt file. It is an AVI file instead of a DV file. And now I'm actually getting the proper cursor. And again, we're in sort of 4:3 land here. Can I drag it into the timeline? I can. We are getting some anti-alias, some interlacing, some combing, but that can be taken care of in another phase of production, probably during its encode. I believe we can do some deinterlacing, so that's not a big deal. And, you know, it gives it sort of an old style effect, and there it is working. Hey smokers, Raga1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the JBL speaker. Now this is a very useful speaker. you can plug in. It has an auxiliary port in the back here. So just plug in whatever you want. Right now I'm using it with my Windows XP machine to play back some stuff. And use this in work. I've used this in several videos just because I needed a speaker. If you want a speaker, it's there. And if you have a 30-pin iPod or watching, and we'll see you later. No, I never exported a DV formatted video from this, but I would imagine it works something like this. Save it to hard drive, MP4, advanced options. It's going to export in 640 by 480 anyway. So I would need to get more creative with the format. Crap. Customize it. I don't know if I can add in a de-interlacing at all. And then again, I may just not care and upload it with the combing anyway, and just not really care ever. I don't see anything here for that. But the other thing is I could, since the source file is in such a high bitrate, 24.4 megabits per second, I could transcode this video using VLC or Handbrake and get rid of the interlacing and still keep the quality pretty good and not lose a lot like I was worried about. If we tried to do this over USB, this would have been completely impossible. The USB on the camera is USB 1.1, I believe, and it's only capable of 12 megabits per second, which would drop me down to 320 by 240, or some crazy-ass, stupid USB streaming, proprietary Sony, low-quality encoder crap, instead of this, which is just pure and awesome. So, that really just wraps up the video. I can get to now importing my old tapes and editing out some videos, and get more of those old Ian's Computer Show episodes edited and put out there so you can watch some stupid stuff that really has incomplete footage, and I'm probably just wasting a whole lot of time doing this. Hopefully you enjoyed this today. This was probably one of the most satisfying and successful night and day problem with video codec, solution to video codec problem situations I've ever been in. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.